Welcome everyone. This isn't exactly what I expected to log into today when I was jumping onto YouTube. I was about to do a news episode about Wargaming rigging matches, but instead I got a copyright strike. Let's read what it is real quick. We received a copyright removal request for your video based on applicable copyright law. We removed your video from YouTube. If you get 3 copyright strikes, your channel, along with any associated channels, will be subject to removal. You now have 1. Okay, what you can do? Do nothing. Strikes expire after 30 days as long as you complete the copyright school. Okay, during this time, you can still use YouTube. Deleting the video will not remove the strike. 2. Request retraction. You can contact the claimant directly and ask them to withdraw their complaint. Well, this would be me contacting them directly because they will see this, trust me. 3. Submit counter notification. If you believe your video was removed in error, you can file a legal dispute, also known as a counter notification. The video in question, in case you guys are wondering, is my reaction to Fabio's content. And I'm sure it's probably pretty easy for you guys to guess who filed it, but just to make sure, I did check. Yes, it was in fact him. Now this move does surprise me, especially since my video falls squarely under fair use. But the thing about copyright strikes and YouTube is you are guilty until proven innocent. Anyone can do this. I can go to anyone and copyright strike them. It's really stupid and dumb. But again, this video falls under fair use. I provided commentary, criticism, and educational insights throughout, and I only need 1 of those. Each one a hallmark of transformative content. I also followed best practices by pausing the video to add my thoughts rather than simply playing it through. Importantly, I didn't use the entire video. In fact, I used multiple. I selected key segments and skipped around, ensuring the market for the original content wasn't harmed. My reaction was never a substitute for watching the full video. Legally, meeting any one of these criteria can qualify as fair use. In my case, I covered them all. That leaves me, unfortunately for him, with 1 option: to submit a counter notification. And now I know this could lead to legal proceedings, and the responsibility for that would fall on the party who initiated the strike. And I don't take this lightly. While I'm not eager to escalate matters, this video was on track to becoming my biggest of the year, and losing it does have real financial consequences for me and my family. And that's the big key. Legal, financial consequences that fall on me and my family. And so for context, guys, I am a disabled Army veteran. It's like, you look just fine. Looks can be deceiving, especially with the diseases I have, which unfortunately I was born with and didn't know about until they were triggered in the Army and showed their ugly faces, and I barely survived. Traditional employment is not an option for me, as my health doesn't allow it. If I'm upright for too long, I will have a heart attack. And I'm not saying walking around standing or picking things up, as those do escalate it more rapidly, even sitting down. Therefore, even a desk job would be difficult for me because I can't just go off and lay down when I want to or need to, and I would have to call out regularly. But my wife works part-time and spends the rest of her time caring for me and our daughter. We get on, but only just. My condition, POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, is what prevents me from being upright for too long. I have very poor blood flow. Doctors haven't figured out why, I just do. It is a syndrome, and they've been able to peg it to lupus, which I have tested positive for, and I have the annoying canker sore in the mouth and the butterfly rash, which you probably can't see with this camera, and my fingers swell up to sausages, which is oftentimes why I struggle to play competitively. On top of that, it's compounded with ankylosing spondylitis. If you haven't heard about that, that's another autoimmune disorder that attacks your kidney and your back, and eventually, potentially, for some people, their left eye. Why the left eye? I don't know. But they're polar opposites. So if I medicate one, the other flares up. And that's the big reason why I can't sometimes even get out of bed in the morning randomly. My body's like, no, not today. Managing one illness aggravates the other, and there's not a real solution. The best thing for me to do is eat as well as I can, as healthily as I can. Not as well, not like what grandma say, have you eaten well? Which, would be eating meat and potatoes and cheese and as much as you can. Not like that, but like berries, low carbs, less starch, stuff like that. That's pretty much the best way, but even then I still flare up multiple times a month. But despite these difficulties, I have built a modest livelihood through YouTube. To have that threatened by a false copyright claim, especially from someone I've criticized for dishonest behavior, feels like a continuation of that same dishonesty. I will be filing a counter notification. If this isn't resolved properly, I will pursue all available legal remedies. And it's like, Clone, it's just a strike, and it's going to go away. It doesn't matter. This was wrong. I'm not going to pay for something that he should take responsibility for. And so there will be a counterclaim, and he may receive a letter in the mail, in which case we'll likely meet. Unless it's probably going to be over a call because it's international. But there will be a judge involved and the lawyers, and he'll be paying for all of that, because he won't win this case. Like, I don't know how he would win this case, which is so funny to me. So, obviously, this is to you, Fabio. You know what to do. Good luck. You should probably remove your copyright strike, your claim, or face the legal ramifications, which I'm more than willing to do. And I don't really want to ruin your financial life, since you are just a 22-year-old kid. But let's be smart about this and not go charging or trying to allow the gun depression of a Death Star to shoot you, rather than playing right. It reminds me of his gameplay. It does. We have to tie this all into World of Tanks. It reminds me of his gameplay. The moment he faces up against somebody real, he does the exact wrong thing. So, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to let you guys know. I also wanted to let you guys know that I do have a GoFundMe if you do want to help with finances. You can donate through that. Link in the description below. Again, you don't have to. And this is my rule of thumb. If you feel obligated to do it, don't do it. Because obligation leads to blind action and bad actions. But if you want to do it out of the kindness of your heart, that's a different matter. Again, there is a link in the description below. But that is where I will leave this. I just wanted to catch you guys up that I do have a copyright strike. And yes, I was reading a script that I wrote. Mostly. I went off track a few times. But that's just what I decided to do. But yeah, we are going to select an action. It's going to be this. Okay, overview. And let's go through this and see exactly what it is. Processing time, typically 1 to 2 days for YouTube's review, 10 US business days for claimant's review. A counter notification is a legal request for YouTube to reinstate a video that has been removed for alleged copyright. Okay, submit counter notification, fill out the form carefully so we'll have everything we need to start the process. Review by YouTube. We'll review your counter notification, and if we think it's complete, we'll forward it to the claimant. If your counter notification is forwarded to the claimant, they'll have 10 US business days to review. If they don't provide evidence that they've taken legal action against you, your video will be restored. Oh, so they have to sue me. Nice. So he has to sue me. Awesome. Final outcome. We'll send you an email to let you know the final outcome. So, there you go. For him to hold true, which I wouldn't be surprised if he does have to sue me. So that's how it's going to work, which means I will countersue. There we go. All right, and I will do this myself and go from there. Thank you guys for joining me on this, and I'll be seeing you all later. Take care. Peace out.